And this is some of the highlights. As we came to the green, look at Michael Cooper there, that third-place car, the Atlanta Motorsports Group Mazda, just doing lots of hunting and searching. Fred Eibach had a wild run. That was the bump that had created so many problems. He was able to rein it in, and Winchester able to lead into that first turn, too. But right here, Cal, is where the Touring Car B Championship ended up on its ear.
Look at this. Robbie Davis loses control of that Mini and takes out Ernie Francis Jr., our championship leader. Who would have believed the drama here on the opening lap?
Unbelievable. Here's the onboard look from young Ernie Francis, and you can see Davis just got pushed to the outside, got in the junk out on the outside of that curb, swung around, collected. The 15-year-old frantically signaling in the car, I want to go. He didn't realize he was broken, and as a result, Davis rejoined in 18th and started a huge charge.
And this has huge championship implications. Those two boys are only separated by a point coming in.
Meanwhile, up front, it was Winchester leading, but Michael Cooper in that Mazda looking very, very fast. Darts to the inside, then looks to the outside. Winchester staying put, defending absolutely beautifully.
Doing a great job. Look for his 6th victory on the year. Look at this moment. Michael Cooper gets really loose. Sandberg flashes by.
And Brett able to move up into second. He would then start to run down his teammate. Meanwhile, Tyler Palmer, the remarkable rookie, all over the back of the veteran Joe Liberini. See that Mini dancing? Watch for it again in just a few minutes. Here is where Brett Sandberg went for the lead, which would eventually give him his 4th win on the season. He knew that his teammate already had the championship clinched. He could race him aggressively.
Just great racing between the two teammates. Going there into the brake zone for turn 4. Makes that move stick. Cooper there in the background.
Meanwhile, watch this move here. That green Mazda of Dave Alejandro, little bit optimistic here. A little bit too late on the brakes. Down into turn 6, the braking zone, bang, into the side of Chris Capaldi, and into the barriers he goes.
Capaldi was his brake. There was no way that was going to work.
Optimistic maybe was the word there. He would get a drive-through penalty for that. But now watch again that first Mini in your screen. Robbie Davis continuing his charge up through the back, gets around Alejandro in that queue and was on his way. Meanwhile, watch Tyler Palmer here, a dance. Watch the hands on the wheel, flailing at it, controlled it, dives to the inside. The remarkable young rookie picks up the lead in that Mini. Boy, what a great story he has been this year.
His version of a Scandinavian flick there, Greg. That was beautiful.
Yeah, the Black Forest Eibach VW Mobil 1 Mini Cooper into the lead. Liberini, that was a 30-point swing for him in terms of the points would be huge. Shea Holbrook, that tricky turn 3, catching her out. She got forced out wide.
Yeah, she's frustrated right here. Just gets out in the gray stuff, out in the marbles. No grip there. Just clips the tires.
You can hear her a little anxious inside the car as a result. But the damage, the tires moved on the track. The full course cautions came out, then the checker, and there it is. Brett Sandberg getting his 4th win of the season in the gear tie, Compass 360 Honda Civic. And more importantly, behind him, you're going to see Tyler Palmer bringing home his 1st win. And that was a great story. But of course, it was the charge back to 8th for Robbie Davis, with Ernie Francis Jr. finishing officially in 19th. That had a huge implication on the Touring Car B Championship. As we are getting ready for our 2nd race of the weekend in Touring Car B Spec, the season finale. And a huge development after the problems in that first race for Ernie Francis Jr. and his car being broken. His dad, Ernie Francis Sr., stepped out of his car and said, Ernie, you take it. This is the only way you got a shot at the championship. And so Ernie, they had to fit a pad in it for the small young 15-year-old, but he was ready to go after it. This was his shot. And to the highlights we go. And once again, watch for it here. Michael Cooper, very aggressive early on. We hop on board that Atlanta Motorsports Group Mazda 3, and look at them. All over that bump again, Cal, and Cooper able to slot into 2nd this time behind Sandberg.
But look at Sandberg. He flies through that chicane, just carries so much speed here without the tires being up to temperature or pressure.
Now, this was a marvelous piece of racecraft by 2 very talented drivers. Cooper trying to go to the outside in our Motul braking zone, turn 6. Sandberg giving him room, and Cal, these 2 race clean for corners.
They did, and watch the moment right here. Michael Cooper nearly losing. Remember the tank slapper from race 1. This time he hangs on to it and gets the lead in the motor race.
And finally, right there, executes. Meanwhile, here comes Ernie Francis Jr. in Dad's number 2, coming by Jim Cleveland in the Fiat, able to knife through. He was on a huge charge, coming from virtually last in the class, up through it. And now, watch this. Brett Sandberg, you talked about how good he was in this chicane, Cal.
Yeah, he's just got confidence there, and with the street circuit, that's what you need. He just barrels through there lap after lap.
But watch this moment. Mike Cooper loses his brakes. Nowhere to go except the back of Sandberg. It was a huge off.
You can see the drivers dealing with the setting sun, but look at the impact there. That had to be a huge shock for Sandberg. Certainly Cooper, when he hit the pedal, nothing was there, and Sandberg just taken out.
Sandberg frustrated but completely understood, of course, as they were visiting. And that ended the race under caution once again. So Ryan Winchester gets his 6th win of the season. Nicely done for him. And Tyler Palmer brings it home with a 2nd consecutive win in the season finale.